elementary school was quite far away from my house, so I had no friend to play with in my neighborhood. I spent my leisure time by riding a bike or watching movies or playing board games with my family. My first board game was Monopoly. At that age, I didn't even know what that means, and I didn't even know how to speak in Korean because nobody said, "Hey, let's play 독점." Nobody said that. But still, I had so much fun. And that was my first encounter with the word monopoly. The rules of Monopoly are simple. First, each player starts with equivalent finances. Players roll the dice on their turn, and they move their token forward the number of spaces as rolled on the dice. In the process, they can buy a property. If they jump into others' property, they must pay for it. The player who wins the most biggest fortune wins. There is a slight difference between board game Monopoly and the economics terminology Monopoly. The word monopoly first appeared in Aristotle's Politics and commonly used in society after the capitalism started. The economics terminology monopoly means that only one business obtains raw materials and manufactures them into product and sell to a consumers. If one company monopolizes, consumers won't have multiple choices of company to buy from. People who stand for monopoly say that monopoly promotes a company to become on international scale. Profits that they earn from their homeland will accelerate it. Approval groups also say that a monopolizing company will pay a massive amount of taxes. On the contrary, people who disapprove of monopolies exclaim that monopoly will limit price competition because a monopolizing company will be the only one who chooses the price. Consumers will pay too much for specific products and results. A monopoly will also reduce a variety of products, for the company will not diversify the products. Consumers won't be able to choose. Instead, they will just pay. I think a monopoly has to be both restricted and maintained. In 2006, there was a man who ran a small company. He put in an amazing effort, and eventually he achieved a patent. He was anxious to take another leap, so he looked for another He looked for a company that would incorporate the patented technology into a product. Finally, he got a pretty good offer from a big company. He trusted the offer and placed an order to a factory. However, this was the beginning of the tragedy. The big company paid him with a promissory note with too long of a deadline. As a result, he couldn't pay the company. He couldn't pay the factory. And his small company went bankrupt. He was frustrated, and to make the matter worse, the big company sued him for his patent and took it away. This is the story of my uncle. I heard that still the big company owns the patent. Maybe some of you might think that that story doesn't fit Monopoly perfectly. I know that, but I still wanted to tell you guys that not only tangible things, but intangible things such as technologies can be monopolized as well. As you can see, private companies, especially big companies, plunder technologies from other companies, and they monopolize them. Based on this story, I believe that The antitrust policy, which is a national regulation on monopoly, must be expanded to the field of technology. Another story is about electricity privatized in Texas. In 2002, Texas provided an opportunity for a lot of private corporations to plunge into the electricity industry, which was until then monopolized by public corporations. Citizens expected positive results, such as a decrease in electricity charges. They thought it would be possible because many corporations were going to compete, but too bad, the policy failed. A comparison of a decade of electricity charges revealed that the electricity privatized area paid more, and even sometimes they suffered from power failures. According to this story, basic necessities like electricity or water have to be monopolized and controlled by a government so that every person can be provided the resources for both same price and same quality. We have to seriously think about this issue. Nothing seems to be happening, but when we take a closer look at the inside of society, monopolies are harassing the weak. We have to find and eliminate them. On the other hand, monopolies protect people to use basic necessities equally. So we have to maintain the monopoly. This is why I think monopoly has to be both eliminated and maintained. Thank you.